Hi everyone and welcome to this video playlist all about your sign. Each week I'll be revealing 3 more pairs of your spread, so that's 7 weeks of content. Join me each week for the next part. Hello Sagittarius, how are you today? I'm about to shuffle your cards for your full reading, so here we go. Hello my dear Sagittarius, thank you for joining me today. Here are your 3 pairs. So this is the physical self, this is the emotional self, and this is the mental self. This is also about hopes, wishes, fears. So let's have a look at your physical self. Here is your major card in the tarot for Sagittarius, Temperance. Okay. Due to the fact that you've had your feet firmly on the ground, which clearly showed right at the beginning of your reading here and here, the groundedness that we were talking about, and your willpower to make things happen, it's showing that you have physically fought against anything that's made you feel powerless in a past position. I feel that you've worked that out by walking in those shoes and having that experience, you know? It's almost as if you've had your most difficult times. And because you have taken the leaps of faith and you've gone into a place of connecting with your physical, intellectual, emotional and spiritual self, like the Magician shows here, you have been in a position to be able to fight against poverty and difficulties and destitution. Any desperation that you may have had in the past because of your grounding, or because maybe if you've not had that experience, it's because you've always had an awareness and planned ahead, been prepared and been in a position of positivity where you are in a place of being strong and resourceful through your hardships. You're no longer dependent on anything that feels like you're having to make do or walk past and feel as if you're being excluded. That's all gone. This is because you have really worked hard and made sure that it's going to happen, and you've took your time. I mean, that's clear with these pentacles here. Everything is slow. You've made sure that you have made it very careful. Your foundations in your reading are absolutely astounding here. King of Pentacles, King, serious matters of things that are material and financial and of your security, and that's the foundation of your reading. I feel that even if you are in the slightest bit challenged, you have always got a backup plan because you're clever. You've got lots of things up your sleeve, just like the Magician. And so poverty for you is something that is not going to happen because you are making sure that you are surviving and you are planning ahead with backup plans. The other side of this is to say that you're searching for something, and I feel you're missing the point. Telling me here that, you know, you're walking past the answer. You know, here we have a couple that are walking past this beautiful light and warmth that's in a building, and they could easily go inside and just kind of find what they're looking for. Instead, they've walked straight past it. They're so blinkered by the blizzard. And there's a feeling here that you're missing something. And I feel that you are keeping your head down instead of looking straight ahead. And if you look straight ahead, you won't miss it. So I feel the answer's all around you, but you really do need to see it. And I feel that you've missed it. So if something is actually bothering you, this is the way forwards for you. Emotional self. This is also to do with the influences of others. And so there may be people around you who are quite happy to be blinkered and don't want to plan for the future and aren't telling you what you want to hear. And I feel that this is, the Five of Swords talks about people probably talking garbage, really. They don't know what they're talking about. They're in a position of authority. They're preaching and they're kind of telling you what to do. But this is nonsense. And in your emotions, you know that to be the case. But it's kind of hard because I feel that they're in a privileged position. This is the powers that be sometimes. This figure here of authority, preaching and saying you must do. And It doesn't make any sense. There's a slight feeling of being bullied by this establishment, and this is red tape, and this is anything official. This could be governments, councils, banks, building societies, that kind of red tape, positions of power and authority that are not communicating with you. It's not about lies, it's just a case if you're being fobbed off, going around in circles. Please, in communication, when it comes to any red tape or any positions of authorities, go and talk to someone else. You can always say, oh, you know, gosh, can you get me someone else, please? I really would like a second opinion on this. Feel free to do so. You know, communicate, stand up for yourself. That's what this is saying to you. Especially if it's something you feel strongly about, because this is in your emotional self and it's coming out as an obstacle. If it's about relationships, well, you know, I kind of get the feeling here that you need to actually get to the nitty-gritty. Going around in circles, get to the point. Get that person to actually look at things as they really are, because it's important to you, okay? And here we have the position of the mental self, your hopes, wishes and fears. What we're hoping for, you know, we can be very, very fearful that our wishes are not going to be fulfilled. They're not going to be actualized. You're building your world, and sometimes you feel that you lose sight of what it is that you're trying to do. It's only in your thoughts. I actually feel the reality is, you know exactly what you're doing, because you're very grounded with these pentacles here, and actions that you take are always very creative. You're making things happen. As you learn the information, you create, and you take that leap of faith and you put it to good use, not just for you, but you share. You're quite capable of doing that. So I feel that this is just kind of your thoughts rolling around. The World card is actually looking at expanding. Your expansion is in 4 cornerstones here. And this is to do more with your ambitions than your personal life. So it's things like your career, perhaps, you know, what you want to happen in life, you know, where you want to live, the kind of things that you want in your status and reputation, and your worldly goods, your education, you know, to complete a study, to make things happen so that you can progress through this life. It's not of the personal kind, it's much more worldly. So your expansion is cornerstones of knowledge, of how you feel in life, of what your expectations are for maybe the next decade or so. That kind of comes up strongly here, as if that's influencing you and kind of making you think, well, I've got to plan ahead, I've got to look, you know, 10 years ahead, not just as in the year ahead, because you will get what you want by making sure that it happens. You've got to rely on you. There's no one else, just you. Go for what you want, and once you actually get a bit bored with it, stop, have a rest, walk away, and if it feels like your heart's still in it, come back to it. Your focus will stay. If it is that you feel that this is hopeless, then, you know, it takes a great strength to walk away from something when you've invested time, doesn't it? You have got the courage to do that. I feel that you're very strong-willed, okay, that comes through here. And, you know, that's the foundations of who you are. You're serious about things. You take everything into account, weighing everything up before you make a move. Being careful, slowly does it. That's what will win the race. Thank you so much for joining me, my dear Sagittarius. I do thank you for your company today, and I hope you join me next time when I will reveal the next cards. Until next time, bye-bye.